Thank you, Neha, for the nice introduction. And many thanks to all the organizers, Dr. Majumdar and Mrs. Majumdar. Uh, yeah, thanks for this opportunity to get connected with several budding virologists or experienced plant biologists. So, is the screen visible to all the slides?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, shall I start with the talk?
Yes, sir. Go for it.
Okay. See, basically, I'm a molecular biologist, but since my PhD days, I have been working on plant viruses. So I'm not a full-fledged field virologist, but I'm more of a molecular virologist. So today's talk, would be more with reference to molecular aspects or how biotechnology could be employed to engineer virus resistance. But to benefit for the benefit of majority of the audience, I'm sure there are people from diverse fields, from industries, academics, students, and maybe from other areas of agricultural aspects. So, in brief, I'll highlight what are the different plant viruses, what is the extent of damage they have been causing. People have gained lot of curiosity of late because of this coronavirus pandemic. Otherwise, people never cared for virus. This particular pandemic has even villagers, illiterate people, they know what virus is and how it is transmitted now, and what is vaccine and how it can be controlled. So I'm sure the same holds good for plant viruses, because all the viruses, they have similar features, several common features, except for some differences which make them distinguish them to infect either the plants or the animals or the human beings. So yeah, I don't know, slide is not moving. Slide, I see a problem in slide transition. Yeah. Recently we contributed, I personally contributed a write-up to Encyclopedia of Virology, which is being compiled by all the eminent virologists across the globe, both plant, animal, and human virologists. And I learned a lot about different viruses and the extent of damage they cause to the crop plants. And this is something unique book, Encyclopedia of Virology, which is published every 10 years, once in 10 years. So here is a list of different plant viral diseases and the region or the country in which they are prevalent, and the nature of monetary or yield losses these viruses cause in different crop plants. This slide may not be that impressive, but this is just to indicate, the intensity of damage these viruses cause to the crop plants. Something happens to human beings, we are so much concerned and worried, but since poor plants, virus attacks poor plants, we are not directly affected by the damage to the plants, but like the coronaviruses we have now, there are several such equally damaging viruses in the plants also. So these are some of the most common plant viral diseases which many of you have might seen. Common is papaya ring spot virus. You go to the market to buy papaya, you would never miss these ring spot symptoms, which are mostly present, and cotton leaf curl, chili leaf curl. You go to chili or tomato or bendy fields, you will always see leaf curl disease. I've never come across a field wherein there are no plants with leaf curl symptoms. So such is the intensity of destruction and damage done by these leaf curl viruses. And also you go to fields of legumes like soybean or green gram, mung bean, you see large amount of yellow patches in the field, which is mostly because of the viral diseases, and in particular, yellow mosaic disease caused by Gemini viruses. So, let me take one by one. There are several viral diseases that infect cereal crops. Viral diseases in cereal crops are not that severe here in India, but across the globe, particularly in Western countries like United States and European countries, there are several cereal viruses, which cause a lot of damage, particularly in wheat, barley, oats, rye, rice, and corn. And some of them are wheat streak mosaic virus, barley yellow dwarf virus. For example, barley yellow dwarf virus infects more than 150 plant species of Poaceae family. And maize dwarf mosaic virus, you can see here, the plants are completely dwarfened. Maize streak virus, it causes a lot of streaks on the leaves. That's why it's called as maize streak virus. Rice tungro virus, about 2 decades back, a decade or 2 decades back, this came up as a severe form of disease in some pockets of the country like Punjab and West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. However, right now it is at very low intensity, but in Southeast Asian countries like Philippines and Indonesia, this is still a serious problem. And these are some of the viral diseases in the root and tuber crops, such as tapioca, which is also called as cassava. You can see the cassava mosaic disease and brown streak disease, the severe chlorosis of the leaves and necrosis in the tuberous roots of tapioca. And even potato, there are more than 37 viruses which infect potato, and the most predominant are potato virus Y, potato leaf roll virus, potato virus S, PVX, PVM, and potato mop top virus. There is one viroid which causes serious damage in potato, and potato virus Y, for example, which is transmitted by aphids, involves at least 40 different species of aphids, which transmits this virus in non-persistent manner. And sweet potato is also infected by several viruses, and the most common one is sweet potato viral disease, which is prevalent in African countries. And this disease is caused by 2 different viruses, co-infection of 2 different viruses and their synergistic interaction. And let's come to vegetable crops. And the most important vegetable crop is tomato, which is grown across 4.8 million hectares, resulting in a production of 182 million tons of tomato across the globe, which accounts for $40 billion US value as per the 2017 estimates. So this is nearly, tomato contributes for 70% of income share among all the vegetable crops. And there are at least 136 different viruses that infect tomato. And this is tomato is a vegetable crop which has a maximum number of viruses infecting it. And some of the other crops which are infected by viruses are pepper, which is infected by 49, and 46 different viruses. They infect melon, Cucumis mello, 53 infect lettuce, and 54 infect potato, 44 infect brinjal or eggplant, and it's only cucumber which has more viruses infecting than tomato. That's 153, which is slightly more than 136 viruses infecting tomato. And this is dynamic. The number of viruses may increase or change depending on the mutations and recombinations and host pathogen and environment interactions and vector interaction. So it's a dynamic process. Uh, so you can see some of the pictures of viruses infecting vegetables. What you see here is tomato yellow leaf curl virus infecting tomato. A lot of mosaics here and venal chlorosis. And another severe disease which infects tomato is tomato spotted wilt virus. This may not be similar symptoms are caused in India, but the virus is considered to be groundnut bud necrosis virus. But in the Western world, uh, these symptoms are caused by tomato spotted wilt virus. And these are the foliar symptoms. And here you can see intervenal chlorosis in the case of Bendi or okra because of okra yellow mosaic virus, yellow vein mosaic virus, Gemini virus, chili leaf curl virus. You can see, zucchini yellow mosaic virus is also an important viral disease. Not only infect zucchini but also several other cucurbits. And you can see some of the pictures of viral diseases in vegetable crops, particularly in India. This is chili venal mortar virus, viral disease in cowpea by bean common mosaic virus. This is zucchini yellow mosaic virus in squash, and bean yellow mosaic virus, pumpkin, which is infected by zucchini yellow mosaic virus. Bendi infected by yellow mosaic caused by Gemini virus, and beans, Adlong beans, infected by several different viruses. So these are the predominant viral diseases in India in particular. And here you see a field. This is the tomato field is severely devastated by infection of peanut bud necrosis virus, which is abbreviated as PBNV. And you can see the entire field does not have has very little green foliage, and it's mostly dry, brownish in color. That's all because of the dead tissue, which is an after effect of peanut bud necrosis virus infection, which is also a tospo virus. Tospo viruses, they cause severe damage in tomato crop. And these are the symptoms you see on the tomato fruits. And when you go to vegetable shop or vegetable stores to buy tomatoes, I'm sure you come across such kind of symptoms. You will have a hard time in picking up good tomatoes because these symptomatic tomatoes occur quite oftenly. And you may have recently come across this news item wherein there were rumors that coronavirus is infecting tomato crops, which was not real. A lot of people, they started asking me, does the coronavirus really infect tomato? And they literally stopped buying tomato to not to get infected by this COVID-19. That was the rumor, but the fact is these viruses, they never infect crop plants. There is a strict host barrier with reference to viruses that infect animals or humans, and with that of viruses infecting crop plants. And you can see the intensity of the damage caused by the recent viral epidemics, particularly in the state of Maharashtra, which is also severely suffering from this COVID-19. The color of tomato fruits has totally changed, and it was very difficult to diagnose what is the cause of this severe viral disease. And some of the diagnostic efforts, particularly in my institute, by the pathology division, they detected at least 12 different viruses infecting tomato, which caused this symptom, or probably, so it tells how many diverse viruses are infecting crop plants. And some of the viruses may have dominant role in giving the symptom phenotypes, and some of them may be dormant in nature, and they may express at an appropriate environmental condition which might be favorable for their expression. So this is the intensity of viral infection in tomato particular, and you can see here viruses also cause a lot of damage in fruit crops. One of them is Cocoa swollen shoot virus, which is a Badna virus, that is double-stranded DNA virus, similar to Tungro virus or viruses, cauliflower mosaic virus, for the promoter of which is used in several transgenic development of transgenic plants. And this is most prevalent in the regions where cocoa is cultivated heavily, particularly in the West Africa, in countries such as Ghana and Ivory Coast. And historically, this disease has resulted in eradication of millions of cocoa plants, and this has indirectly affected, uprising of several political parties, and even some of the the Ghanaian country's president had to resign, and there were severe uprisings in the country. So you can understand the amount of damage these viral diseases cause. You have heard of Bengal famine and Irish famine, which is because of the diseases in potato or rice in the case of Bengal, fungal diseases. So, but the famines caused by viral diseases are poorly understood. Even viral diseases have been responsible for the cause of famines in certain continents or countries, like cassava mosaic disease was responsible for famine in Africa. So plant viruses do have significant economic impact across the globe when they occur at a huge epidemic scale. And here you see an image of Citrus tristeza virus. This is one of the most devastating viruses, which cause a lot of damage. This is prevalent even in India, particularly in the areas where citrus is grown extensively, in Maharashtra, like Nagpur. And there are a lot of viruses infecting banana streak virus and bunchy top virus. The plants would be completely dwarfened, and you would not expect any fruits from the tree. And these viruses are transmitted by aphids. Viral diseases in papaya are also quite prominent. Papaya ring spot virus, as well as the leaf curl viruses, which are gaining a lot of momentum these days, which is caused by Gemini virus, which mostly comes off as an after effect of infection by papaya ring spot virus. So there are a lot of viruses which infect stone fruits. And the most prominent one is plum pox virus, which infects several stone fruits like plums, apricot, peach, and almonds, and several other wild relatives of these fruit crops, particularly in the European continent. And Europe has had a very difficult time in managing this plum pox virus. There have been several efforts to develop transgenic plants, virus-resistant transgenic plants using different technologies. There have been several important eradication programs which resulted in uprooting of these stone fruits. Millions of stone fruit plants were uprooted, causing in heavy yield and economic loss. So there are also viral diseases which cause severe losses in legumes. And what you see here is groundnut rosette virus disease. You can see on the left and right are the healthy plant rows, and in the center what you see is the row with severely infected by groundnut rosette disease. And several bean viral diseases, bean common mosaic virus, bean yellow mosaic virus, bean golden mosaic virus, and mung bean yellow mosaic virus, which infects several legumes, not only mung bean, also pigeon pea, cowpea, soybean, and several other legume crop plants. So some of the commercial plants, or floricultural plants, which are infected by viruses. Viruses are also quite predominant in sugarcane and floricultural crops, because these are vegetatively propagated, and it is easy for virus to be transmitted from one generation to the next generation. many of the viruses are not seed transmitted, but there are a good number of viruses which are seed transmitted. Particularly in vegetatively propagated crops, viral diseases are of major concern, particularly in floricultural crops, which are propagated by tubers and by other vegetative methods, suffer from severe viral diseases like Cymbidium mosaic virus, Dendrobium mosaic virus, Odontoglossum ring spot virus, and what you see here is the most classical virus, tobacco mosaic virus, the first one to be discovered historically. It's not that tobacco mosaic virus infects tobacco alone. Tobacco mosaic virus infections are seen in several vegetable crops also. And sugarcane also suffers from several virus infections, and sugarcane mosaic virus is the most predominant one. Since it is vegetatively propagated by stem cuttings, so this is vulnerable for virus infections. Cotton leaf cull disease is a major challenge in particularly in Indian subcontinent, not in the southern India, but northern India and the adjacent countries like Pakistan. So all these viral diseases are caused by diverse plant viruses. So this is called as virosphere, which represents the actual real diversity of plant viruses, their genome structure, and the taxonomic features of all these viruses in one single picture. This is developed by my former supervisor, Dr. Fouquet. And you can see here all different kinds of viruses infecting bacteria, fungi, invertebrates, vertebrates, and there are viruses with wide range of genomes and a wide range of genome organization. There are viruses with DNA and RNA as their genome. Some of them have double-stranded DNA and also double-stranded RNA, single-stranded DNA, single-stranded RNA. And when it is single-stranded RNA, it could be in plus sense orientation or in negative sense orientation. So there is vast amount of diversity in the genome organization of the viruses infecting living beings and plants in particular. In plants also you find viruses of all different genome organizations infecting them. So yeah, what you see, these circles are just highlighting what are the viruses that infect plants. You can see here all different structures of RNA viruses with different structures, or even DNA viruses. They do infect plants. So yeah, this is about virus diversity and their diversity in genome organization, their what all crop plants they infect and the extent of damage they cause. Coming to the control measures, conventionally there are several ways these plant viral diseases can be controlled. The very first thing is quarantine. Quarantine is very important, not only for control of plant viruses and even for control of human viruses, that I'm sure many of them have realized now how important is quarantine. Even villagers know what quarantine is now. So other important programs to be employed for control of viral disease is strong seed certification programs or eradication programs for the removal of infected plants, removal of alternate hosts such as weeds, and good phytosanitation programs. These are all some of the very important things which need to be employed for management of plant viral diseases, and also changing cropping patterns. You go for alternate crop rotations so that viruses that would infect legumes would not reappear next season when you take up a different crop. And plant breeding for host plant resistance is one good option, but there is severe paucity of resistant genes, resistant traits, particularly against the viruses. A lot of exploration needs to be done for identification of resistant sources in the wild species and among the wild relatives. So this is something which is very important. And other indirect way of controlling plant viruses is to control their insect vectors which transmit these viruses through chemical control, or maybe any other recipe which may repel the insects. And classically, in some of the fruit plants like citrus and cocoa, cross protection was widely followed by employing mild strain protection, which is similar to vaccination. We are vaccinated against several viruses like poliovirus and all by injecting an attenuated virus. So similar strategy works even in the case of plants when they are inoculated by bud grafting with a mild strain of, but this is technically more challenging and it needs there's a requirement for highly skilled labor to carry out this work, and a combination of all different control measures can be employed to control or the manage plant viral disease. So I just